This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes. Thanks for joining us tonight. Scott Dennis has the day off. Our top story this evening, a major setback for what was one of the world's most luxurious resorts. The company hoping to restore the Colony Resort on Longboat Key to its former glory, having a change of plans after voters rejected a request to add more units to the property. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live from the resort with what's next for this dilapidated hotel.
Good evening. It's back to the drawing table for developers. While this vote is a setback, they say that they are not going anywhere. The plan is to still build a luxurious five-star hotel. There will just be fewer rooms and units.
I don't get discouraged.
There's not much that could stop Chuck Whitall from turning the Colony Resort back into the gem it once was.
We remain just as excited today as we did yesterday or 3 years ago.
Even after 87% of Longboat Key residents voted against his plans for the property, which would have added 108 more units to the existing 237. He said he expected it.
Maybe not as bad as they were.
Whitall said he heard the opposition from residents weeks before the vote.
We couldn't go change the language in the ballot. It was written in stone. We would have actually lowered the density request if we could have made that change.
Residents of Longboat Key explained that they aren't against Whittall's redevelopment plan.
It really should be developed. It's just the density is a real issue with me.
There's one thing residents say they just can't take anymore: the traffic.
Right in front of me right now are cars going about 3 miles per hour. And right now it would take about a half an hour for me to get from my home to downtown, which is usually 11 to 12 minutes.
And the drivers say it's only getting worse.
It was almost like a tropical island paradise, and it still is. But it's been built up a great deal.
For me and my family, we're questioning even being on Longboat Key because of this.
Despite the traffic issue, plans are moving forward with the Colony Resort. The property will still draw hundreds of people to the already buzzing key.
We're not going away. We've invested $27 million to date in the property. We're not going to sell our interest out in the property. We are going to develop it. We're going to move forward, and we're going to do something special.
As you heard him say, he has no plans on selling the property. Whitall says his developers are now redesigning everything, and in a year and a half, he hopes to have the resort up and running. Reporting on Longboat Key, I'm Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Jess. Voters on Longboat Key also making a decision about its town commission yesterday. In District 4, incumbent Jack Daly won over Larry Grossman. And the at-large seats, former Mayor Jim Brown won over Gene Gillespie. In the city of Sarasota, voters chose to oust Commissioner Susan Chapman. The three winners at-large seats, former Planning Board member Jen Ahern Koch, attorney Hagan Brody, and business owner Martin Hyde. Voters will now choose two of those candidates in a runoff election. In the city of Northport, Jill Luke and Pete Emmerich will square off in the runoff election for seat 4 on the city commission. And that runoff election is scheduled for May 9th. Early voting starts May 1st and will run through Saturday, May 6th at the Supervisor of Elections office in Sarasota. The Manatee County School Board is agreeing to work with the County Commission in hopes of finding out what is causing a high number of cancer cases among Bayshore High School alumni. The school agreed to a collaboration at a meeting yesterday. Several former students from the 1970s, 80s, and 90s believe diesel fuel tanks buried on Bayshore School property may be responsible for contamination of the groundwater and soil, and possibly for causing several cases of cancer and autoimmune diseases. The Manatee County School District has tested the ground soil in the past and found no contaminants, but the alumni believe newer technology will reveal different results. Tonight we're learning about a dispute that could have kept the Atlanta Braves from moving their spring training home to Northport. West Village's general manager Marty Black sent an email to Sarasota County Commissioners last week describing multiple issues, assuring the Braves that they and the county were committed to a strong economic growth in South County. That email was in response to comments that were allegedly made by the Economic Development Corporation CEO Mark Huey. Huey had said the county would face economic consequences for turning down a different deal involving a roofing company. Those talks took place the same time as the Braves negotiations.
We're in the midst of negotiations with the Atlanta Braves at that point in time. The last thing we wanted was, somehow negative press about the fact that the county might not be a place to do business.
Despite those concerns, the Braves did move forward, signing a 30 to 40-year deal with Sarasota County. We're getting a better idea of what the new parking garage on St. Armand's Circle will likely look like. Today, the city of Sarasota released new video of a computer model showing the proposed design for the garage. The video takes you down the street and shows you the garage and the landscaping from all angles. The $15 million parking garage will be built on a parking lot right next to the fire station at Adams Drive and Madison Avenue. It would add 500 more parking spaces to the area. Previously, officials determined there is a 320 parking spot shortage on St. Armand's. This time of year, during spring break, it is especially difficult to find a place to park.
We didn't come for 2 days because you can never find any place to park. So I guess if I lived here, I probably wouldn't be so crazy about the idea, but as a visitor, it would probably be helpful.
City officials say 2 more community workshops will be held before the proposed design is brought to the City Commission for approval. The goal is to have the parking garage open by the end of 2018. A busy roundabout in Venice is getting a makeover, which may make it even more confusing for drivers. To help clear up the confusion about the roundabout at Jacaranda Boulevard and Venice Avenue, Sarasota County is hosting an open house next Wednesday at Woodmere Park. Staff members will go over the proper driving procedures and give an update on the improvement project. The Florida Department of Transportation hopes that the changes will reduce the number of crashes that have happened there. The project is expected to be complete in early summer. Summer does not feel like summer today. Feels really like winter, even though we're close to spring, right, Bob?
You got that right. Less than a week away, spring officially begins, and it's going to be one of the coldest nights of winter right here in the last week of winter. We are going to see no frost and no freezing temperatures here, but it will feel like freezing tomorrow morning with that wind blowing out of the north, anywhere from 10 to 15 miles an hour. There is a hard freeze warning from Gainesville northward up to just west of Jacksonville, and then a freeze warning just north of the Tampa Bay area. The small craft advisory, which had been in place for coastal waters, is no longer there, but a rip current advisory will be through now through Wednesday evening, 8 o'clock. It should expire. Temperatures into the mid-50s right now, but it feels cooler out there as a result of that strong northwesterly wind, and you see temperatures a little bit warmer inland areas at this point. Low temperatures tonight. 35 in Port Charlotte. Northport, you'll be down to the same. Inglewood right at 36 degrees. 34 in Mayaca City, so close to freezing there. Lakewood Ranch right around 36 to start things off tomorrow morning. A little bit warmer right near the water, but still cold in Anna Maria at 43 degrees. We'll let you know about a warming trend as we head into the weekend coming up in a few minutes. Haley.
Thank you, Bob. Suncoast State Senator Greg Stubbe is among those who voted yes to make a significant change to Florida's Stand Your Ground law. Today, the Florida Senate approved a bill that would shift a key burden of proof in Stand Your Ground cases. The proposal stems from a Florida Supreme Court ruling in 2015 that said defendants have the burden of proof to show they should be shielded from prosecution under the law. In Stand Your Ground cases, pretrial evidentiary hearings are held to determine whether defendants should be immune from prosecution. The bill would shift that burden of proof to prosecutors.
This bill goes in the direction that it needs to go to assure that our citizens in the state of Florida who are faced with a circumstance where they have to defend themselves don't have to prove that they were defending themselves, that burden is on the state.
However, some senators feel the current standard does not need to be changed. The House version of the bill is still pending in the House Judiciary Committee. It's been talked about in both Sarasota and Venice for months, but Coral Gables may be the first city in Florida to actually enforce a ban on plastic bags. Coral Gables city commissioners were given initial approval to an ordinance that prohibits the use of plastic bags by retailers at special events. It includes exceptions for bags brought by shoppers or used to hold prescription medicines, as well as dry cleaning bags, newspaper bags, and trash bags. A similar rule could soon be enforced here on the Suncoast. The Venice City Council recently submitted a request to state lawmakers asking for permission to put a ban in place. And the Sarasota City Commission is considering joining a statewide effort to ban ban plastic bags. Still to come on your Suncoast News, freezing weather on the coast. Florida braces for chillier weather while the rest of the Northeast struggles with a late season blizzard and the aftermath of that. ABC7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back to tell us just how chilly it's going to get tonight, as he alluded to earlier, and later in Health Smart, a new drug approved for a certain group of breast cancer patients who will benefit most from the medication. That's coming up.
The human spirit's capacity to defy the odds, to push the envelope, is boundless.
Man, he used to hang out with us. Yeah, and then he just stopped. I hope he's gonna be okay.
1 in 5 of us has a mental health condition, but emotional pain can be hard to spot and harder to talk about. Learn the 5 signs of emotional suffering. If you see 1 or more signs in someone you care about, reach out, connect, and offer to help.
Megan, come sit with us.
And our answers Visit changedirection.org.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small.
I mean, really moves me.
One.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
The human spirit's capacity to defy the odds, to push the envelope, is boundless.
The nor'easter may have taken a surprise turn inland, sparing major cities along the coast, but millions are still digging out from as much as 3 feet of snow. Many schools are closed or delayed for a second day. ABC's Elizabeth Herr shows us the conditions in New York.
From Maine to Pennsylvania, millions buried and battered by that monster nor'easter, now digging out. The March blizzard dumped as much as 41 inches of snow in upstate New York. Along the coast in Massachusetts and Maine, up to a foot of snow, and winds gusting up to 80 miles per hour left 60,000 without power in Massachusetts alone. The wind also knocked out power and toppled trees in New Jersey. This giant oak tree crashing right into this man's bedroom.
It sounded like a bomb went off, like something blew up. When my hand stopped shaking, I just called the police.
In Boston, the snowy and slippery highway no match for this tractor trailer spinning out of control. And these parked cars not going anywhere soon after snowfall reached 2 feet in parts of northeast Pennsylvania. Driving conditions in Connecticut also treacherous. Major highways had to be shut down, with cars fishtailing, and driving in New York also a challenge, leaving even plow trucks overturned. The new concern today is the bitter cold. Wind chills here in New York, just 10 degrees this morning, turning everything that's on the ground into chunks of ice, meaning it's going to take a lot longer for all this to melt, let alone cleaning and removing it. Elizabeth Hur, ABC News, New York.
And while we're not expecting anything close to a blizzard, we will see temperatures that could be pretty chilly tonight. Bob will give us those exact figures, but Sarasota County Emergency Management is opening 3 shelters this evening for those in need. The Sarasota Salvation Army Center of Hope on 10th Street will open at 6:30. In Venice, the Grace United Methodist Church opens at 6 o'clock. And then in Northport, New Hope Community Church will open at 8 p.m. So, Bob, it's going to be chilly.
Yes, the temperatures are going to be in the upper 30s, low 40s near the coast, mid 30s inland, but the wind is what's going to be the problem. The wind chill factor, so take care of your small pets, too. Remember that. It gets cold for them as well. We are looking at some pretty cold temperatures for at least this time of year. We could see some record lows overnight. We are not anticipating any freezing temperatures. That means the actual temperature will not get to freezing in our area. It may feel like it, but it's not going to get all the way down to 32 degrees. And we will see another cool day on Thursday. Not quite as cold as today, but still well below average. And then a warming trend anticipated just in time for the weekend, right? In fact, as early as Friday, we'll see some moderating temperatures. I want to show you these photos that were sent in from last night's sunset or around that. Carrie is sending this one in from Longboat Key. Very majestic looking sunset with some stratocumulus clouds moving in. They weren't storm clouds, but they were low level clouds picked up from the cold air that was blowing over the Gulf of Mexico and the relatively warmer waters of the Gulf, creating those low clouds around. Also another one, gorgeous shot from Casey Key, Fred Seeger. Appreciate those photos. Keep them coming to Pix, P-I-X, at mysuncoast.com. The Van Wezel webcam showing a fairly nice sunny day today, but the waters were up there. There were small craft advisories all day long for coastal waters, bad boating conditions out there, but those are slowly starting to improve. The small craft advisory has been lifted, just small craft exercising caution now. These are those cold weather clouds. I mentioned the stratocumulus clouds. That's that cold air just blowing off into the relatively warmer waters of the Atlantic right now. The subtropical jet stream ripping through Cuba and the central Bahamas now, but generally fair skies over the Gulf of Mexico. Temperatures right now, mid-50s and even some 60s now. Venice right on the water at the end of the Venice Pier at 60 degrees. The water temperature slowly falling. 63 at Mayaca City, 64 in Arcadia now. And as far as the winds go, they'll stay not as strong, but still anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour around sunrise. And that will actually add to the fact that we'll feel colder out there. Anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour out of the north. A biting cold expected. 56 degrees right now. Dew point is what is extremely low now at 36 degrees. And now we'll have to start transitioning into that high fire danger risk again over the next several days, as we are anticipating the dry air to stick around. Winds out of the northwest at 16. The pressure 30-19. That's high. It continues to build. Well, it's 54 in Tallahassee. 56 degrees in Sarasota. Orlando now at 59. And temperatures I mentioned earlier all into the mid-50s to low 60s. Lows tonight will be into the mid-30s in places like Northport, Port Charlotte, Rotunda a little bit warmer. As you get right onto the water, we're looking at temperatures there right around 40 to 42 degrees. Osprey at 38, 38 in Sarasota, 36 at Lakewood Ranch, and 43 in Anna Maria. No worry for frost either, with a wind blowing anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour. You're not going to allow, that won't allow the frost to form. You have to have light winds for that frost to really get a hold. As far as the overnight temperatures go, plummeting, especially after sunset, and then dropping down into the upper 30s, and we'll have fair skies. The hourly forecast tomorrow, high temperatures only in the low 60s. That's about 14 to 15 degrees below average for this time of year. While the forecast showing clear skies as high pressure builds in across the state for the next several days, so it looks like we're going to have a decent weekend with temperatures warming out. It's extremely cold over the Northeast and Great Lakes. Not so much the temperature, but the wind chill factors in this area. 10 in Toronto, it feels like 16 in Boston, and 15 right now in Cleveland. Well, for boaters tomorrow, a little bit better. Still seas up there 2 to 4 feet with a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters. And as far as the forecast goes, we'll take a look at the 7-day. Cold on Thursday for Florida standards. That's cold, 65, when normally we get up to 75. And then we'll be back to that number by Saturday. Lots of sunshine And you'll notice no mention of rainfall over the next 7 days. Spring arrives with a high of 77. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. No major accidents backing up traffic at this moment. Drivers are experiencing some congestion along I-75 northbound just before Bee Ridge Road. In health news tonight, support programs for new mothers help them to breastfeed their babies longer and to keep breast milk as the baby's only source of nutrition. That's according to a new review of studies by the International Cochrane Network of Researchers. The researchers concluded that breastfeeding support by trained professionals or lay people benefited women and their babies. Women who received support were about 8% less likely to stop breastfeeding before 6 months. Face-to-face contact and support appear to be better than help delivered over the phone. U.S. regulators have approved a new drug as an initial treatment for postmenopausal women with a type of advanced breast cancer. The drug, called Kisali, is developed by Swiss drug maker Novartis. It's a pill that works to slow the spread of cancer by blocking 2 proteins that can stimulate growth and division of cancer cells. It's for women who have metastatic breast cancer, known as HR positive or HR2 negative. Coming up, the quick thinking of a McDonald's worker may have saved the life of a customer.
I never panicked. I never panicked at all. My brain was on hero mode, totally.
What the employee did to save an off-duty officer, that story is straight ahead.
ABC7 News at 7, weeknights.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Join us for Sarasota Opera's 2017 Winter Festival, opening February 11th. Featuring Puccini's most famous opera, Madame Butterfly, Rossini's delightful comedy, The Italian Girl in Algiers, Poulenc's heartbreaking dialogues of the Carmelites, and the medieval thriller The Love of Three Kings by Italo Montemezzi. Tickets are on sale now. Call 941-328-1300 or visit sarasotaopera.org.
Hurry in to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota for big savings on some of America's best vehicles. Over 100 standard and available safety features make the new Chrysler Pacifica a safe investment for any family. And right now, you can buy one for just $24,999 or save up to $11,000 on a new Ram Crew Cab during Ram Truck Month. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
With a top prize of $10 million, the new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery is your ticket to take on the world. $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery. One of our life-changing scratch-offs offering billions in cash prizes.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner. After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
A Florida McDonald's employee is being hailed as a hero for helping an off-duty police officer suffering with a medical episode. The employee's quick thinking and actions may have saved the woman's life, and it was all caught on camera. Derek Shore has that story.
Okay, hello there, 2 McChickens.
For Pedro Viloria, he's used to working the drive-through window at this Doral McDonald's, but he's never jumped out of it until this morning.
At that moment, I thought I'd rather save that woman's life.
Pedro says it was all fine. The customer, an off-duty Miami-Dade police officer with her 2 kids in the back seat, pulled up and paid without a problem. But when he returned with their food,
I see she's like inflating her neck, like trying to breathe, and I immediately thought something was going wrong.
Unconscious, the officer's foot slips off the brake, her SUV rolling forward, and Pedro literally jumps out and into action.
I thought, oh my God, this woman's unconscious. I gotta do something because she's gonna crash, maybe.
Video shows that SUV narrowly miss another car and hit a curb.
Like, boom, here stops the car.
Pedro runs back in for help, but little did he know just how close help was. A customer, said to be a paramedic, jumps out of her car to assist. Then seconds later, an off-duty Miami-Dade Fire Rescue member walks in for breakfast. When he figures out what's going on, he grabs his partner outside and gets to work.
And they were all the people doing like this.
Doing CPR. And with the use of an AED machine, they're able to revive that officer.
Okay, here it is. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
As for Pedro, he hopes she makes it. And as for being a hero,
the real heroes are the fire rescues.
Fantastic. I think they're all heroes. The Coast Guard was able to successfully save a fisherman who was suffering also from a medical emergency. The man was on a commercial fishing boat about 38 miles west of Egmont Key yesterday when he called for help because his leg was injured. The Coast Guard responded to the call made by the captain of the boat, Miss Brianna. The crew picked him up in a helicopter and took him to the hospital. Now to another amazing rescue caught on camera in Arizona. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection released this video of a Black Hawk helicopter responding to reports of a hiker in trouble in Pima Canyon. When rescuers got to the scene, they found the man in a ravine. The hiker was pulled onto a gurney and lifted into the helicopter and taken to the hospital for treatment. His condition is not known at this time. A loggerhead sea turtle is back in the Gulf and swimming along happily today after a successful release off of Nokomis Beach earlier this week. Scientists with Mote Marine Lab in Sarasota released the sea turtle Monday morning, which is nicknamed Grimes after a Mote staff member. Grimes was taken in by Mote 2 months ago after he was found swimming lethargically and diagnosed with suffering from exposure to red tide. Still to come on your Suncoast News, construction underway on a brand new facility in Sarasota. What a new hospital will mean for the Newtown community and surrounding areas.
Luxury for less at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sports Utility for $249 per month or a 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251. 800-628-1251.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Things can happen in an instant. We never expected Brady to be in an accident. And if he didn't have blood donors, he wouldn't be here.
To Suncoast blood donors and everybody in this community, I'd say thank you. I'm gonna pay it forward.
Car experts and customers agree there's a whole lot to love about a new Subaru. Subaru offers more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And Subaru had the best resale value of all brands for 2016. Now you can lease a new Subaru Forester for just $209 a month or get 0% financing during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.